Did I say all that? Did I say all that with no? Did I say all that with no sound? Yeah. No. This is perfect, guys. This is perfect. I'm gonna have to trim all that off. What a way to start the week on Friday. Oh man. So I was explaining the hard drive issues. Yeah, we had the hard drive go away. I'm turning red now because this is just I always have that thing left up, and for some reason, I guess in my haste the other night to do I did a live update, and I was really sick, and so when I did that, I guess I turned the audio off because all convention goes out the window. But the hard drive is fried. It's all going through the one computer. We're good to go for now. We've got the patch made. I'm going to turn off the 24-hour channel because everything's not going to that. It's all gone haywire. But the thing is, I can still go live with this stuff. I can still do the old school updates. And when I get that hard drive here in a couple of days, we are good. When I heard my wife shuffling this way, that's when I knew I had a problem. I was trying to focus on talking, and then now I see that I had no sound. I said all kinds of amazing things, thought-provoking, wonderful things that no one will ever know about. But here's the radar. So we have storms going on along the Mississippi River, and these storms are kind of trailing back to the west here. You can see a couple of new little cells trying to pop there in Wynn Parish and down into Evangeline Parish. So we'll see if something happens here. As of now, I think it's going to be kind of that little band of storms moves through, and that's probably pretty much it. We could get a couple isolated cells in the afternoon, but on the big picture radar, you can see that that's really all that's going on right now. I'll hit play on that, and you can put that in motion, and there you go. Showers and storms moving through Mississippi, through eastern Louisiana. We have this other little wave of energy coming in out of the northwest here, so we'll see if we can get a few storms today. I think especially in that eastern half where we have that tail end of this piece of energy coming through, that's where we're going to have our best chance to see some thunderstorms. So mid 70s, upper 70s, everyone in the 70s, statewide 76 degrees, nice and humid out there as it has been. And you'll see here on the HRRR wind gust model, we'll see those wind gusts popping up occasionally. That's because thunderstorms are popping up, and you can see those and outflow coming out from them, all that craziness. But the actual winds that are going to be gusting apart from storms, only going to be about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So today, isolated to scattered storms, just going to kind of be scattered across the area, mid 80s for highs, and it's going to be quite humid out there as well. So the severe outlook, we're keeping that severe threat out of the area. Now, when I say out of the area, I mean it doesn't get up to that 5% level. That doesn't mean that there's not the possibility that we see a brief severe storm or two, but the chance is pretty darn low, so I don't think we see anything really through the weekend that's going to cause big problems. The HRRR shows a storm exploding over Alexandria in the next 10 minutes. I don't think that's happening. But you can see that tail end of things, that's what I was talking about. That tail end of things kind of sweeps through, and then that's going to leave a little boundary here over the southern half of the area, and I think we get some storms to fire on that. That's going to happen between about 5 and 10 o'clock this evening, and then we see that things are going to kind of calm down. Tomorrow, it's just a few isolated pop-up cells, so any plans for Saturday or Sunday, not looking too bad right now, as I don't see widespread activity like we've seen over the last few days. We've had some huge totals, in some cases up to like 7 inches of rain down in areas around Lafayette and New Iberia. We've had several inches up this way. We've had about 4 inches at the house here. So plenty of rain. We can use the brake. The crazy part is it goes from like 7 inches of rain near Lafayette, and this is radar estimates, down to parts of Vermilion Parish not seeing a drop in the last week. So the joys of forecasting, the joys of farming, I can't imagine how they deal with it, but yeah, that's what's been going on. So we're going to go through the GFS until next week around Thursday, and then look what happens. We get another system that comes in. I think this one could be pretty significant, and not in a widespread severe weather outbreak sense, but maybe some heavy rain out of this, maybe some severe weather. We'll be watching that one closely. That's the next big thing, Thursday into Friday. So again, it's not one of those where I'm sitting here watching every model run freaking out like, okay, I've got to see what next is coming and this and that. I just think we're going to see some pretty active weather toward the middle and end of next week. And a lot of what we're seeing here comes from that, as this is starting to kind of grab onto that Thursday system. So maybe some scattered stuff today, but the next round of widespread rain from what I'm seeing now is around next Thursday. And on your 7-day forecast, you can see rain chances popping up Wednesday and Thursday up into the 50% range. These are going to go up from what I'm seeing as we get a little closer, but again, 6-7 days out, so we don't want to go too crazy. Mid to upper 80s. Until then, we may touch 90, but as this next system comes through, we actually come out on the other side and see some cooler air come into the area. Now, your typical high this time of year is around 82 for the start of May, so to be near normal, not too bad. If we get some of that blue in here, maybe some 70s for highs, we'll have to see if that works out. Looks like we keep the pattern pretty active through early May, though, through about May 9th, so I think we're going to keep above normal normal precip in the area, and it's going to stay drier up to the north. But we're going to keep things kind of busy. In fact, the outlook for the next few months keeps above normal precipitation, but unfortunately above normal temperature. So it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid, it's going to be nasty. Again, if you depend on that 24-hour channel right now, it's going to be out. I'm going to actually disable that until we get the new hard drive, because there's like camera data and stuff going through, and it's just like, it's not, a lot of things are missing, and I'm not in love with that right now. So I'm just going to pause it. Unless it's just the cameras. So that's what I'm thinking, though. We're just going to pause that for now if any wonky data is going through. I'm going to then act like I know what's going on inside this computer and fix that once the hard drive shows up, which if it's just a hard drive replacement, I should be able to handle that. If not, I might have to enlist my wife or any child that walks by, because they can do it better than I. But I am going to get out of here for today. I'll be back live tomorrow once again, unless we see a warning today, because I'm ready to hop back on. And I'm happy because I've lost 7 pounds. I didn't tell you that. I did, but the camera was off. Lost 7 pounds in the stomach flu diet, so I would not recommend it. But now we got to try to keep that off. So get a big health kick out of this whole thing. All right, I'm getting out of here. I missed you. You can see I don't want to say goodbye, but I have to go do actual work now. I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a great Friday.